Hey guys, what's up? It's 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video. And today, I'm going to be talking about the Ja Morant card market. Should you be buying, selling, or holding your Ja Morant cards? So, throughout the year, and especially in the season, there comes a time when players' cards spike in value. They shoot up really fast, and then you are faced with the tough decision. What do? Do you take their performance as an indicator that you should be doubling down? Or do you take the chance to capture some profit that you made really quickly? It's a tough decision, and it's always player specific, so you've got to really think about what you want to do. And today, I'm going to give you some input on what to do with Ja Morant and his cards, which have been spiking recently. So what happened to Ja Morant cards? The prices have spiked recently from about $550 on his PSA 10 base Prism in December 22nd to about $760 on December 26th. That's an enormous spike, over $200 in about 4 or 5 days, fueled by his 44-point performance on December 23rd, first game for the Grizzlies, and supported by a 28 performance on the 26th against the Hawks. Big jumps have been seen on the court side as well. The base courtside PSA 10 went from about 1,500 to about 2,000, and this PSA 9 we got here went from, I would say, about 400 to it sold over 1,000. I think that number's a little high, but probably in the 700 to 800 range. I mean, we're talking huge appreciation on some big Ja Morant cards, and it puts guys who own some Ja Morant in a tough decision of what exactly they want to do with those cards. So, without further ado, we'll get into some advice I've got for you guys. So, the general advice I give when a player's market runs up like this is to take advantage of a quick run up on a market and sell. I would definitely use hot moments and capture them to make some profit. That's what I usually do. I think it is what allows me, as someone who knows the movements of cards well and follows it regularly, to have an advantage to capture some of those quick peaks that we see in sports cards. And I like to try to sell on them if I own the cards and if I get the chance. That's my general advice. Because usually those cards will come down or cool off in the next 2 weeks or so, provided there isn't some, amazing game again by that player. Obviously, that's the caveat. So, what am I thinking about with Ja in specific right now? And for reference, I do own some nice Ja cards a little bit. I'm a big fan of his, so I bought a lot of them for PC, and they're nice cards. But anyways, what would I do? What would I sell? If you have them, these are just some of the types of cards of Ja that I would be selling. When you see a quick price bump like this, I like to sell my base cards. Base, Prism, Optic, Mosaic. I just pulled this base hoop, so I figured I'd show it off in this video. But those base are perfect for this. Not only are they the cards that react the fastest, but they're the cards that I don't want to be holding in the long run. I don't want this non-numbered, highly print run cards for my long run investments in Ja. I would like more low pop stuff. But they're definitely hot cards, and those hot cards are what makes them great for selling at moments like this. If I had a Prism, I would definitely be looking into selling. These, personally, I'll probably just hold on to because they're cheap cards of a player I love, and I just kind of want them for my PC. But if you were a flipper, the base stuff like this is the type of stuff that I would be selling on a hot moment like this for Ja. So, just if you guys don't mind, you're new to the channel, new to this video, drop a like, drop a sub right down here. I really appreciate it. It really helps me grow the channel, and I watch it all the time, and I get excited whenever I see likes coming through. So if it's not too much to ask, I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, what of Ja would I be holding? And this brings me to these two big boys, the Ja Select cards that I own. These are bigger cards. These are cards, the courtside obviously falling 2 per box, the Select Silver Concourse being fairly rare. I would say these are about double, maybe 2.5 to 3 times even the population of the courtside. So, but still pretty low pop compared to base stuff. This is the stuff that I would be holding. First of all, these cards aren't going to spike in price like a base card would. They don't react quite as fast. The market is a little bit more selective. It's a little less reactive than the base market. And these are also the cards that have pops that are low enough that if you believe in Ja in the longer term, which I do, I think, and also I PC him, so I'd like to be holding stuff that definitely influences my personal decisions, but if you believe in Ja in the long run, these are the types of cards that you want to be holding onto. It's hard not to sell, honestly, when the profits are large, but you got to stay disciplined. When you buy a card like a select courtside, you're not buying it for the quick flip usually. You're buying it to hold it because it's a premier card for the long run of that player. You got to keep that in mind, and you've got to stay disciplined when these price jumps happen. So what would I be buying in Jaw's current market? Honestly, nothing. Prices are really high right now on Jaw, and unless he rattles off another 40-point game or so, I don't see them going any higher in the next 2 weeks. I think usually you'll see that little cool down, and it's hard to say, it's impossible to say how much those card prices will come down, but I do think they'll come down a little bit, and that should present a better buying opportunity for you. Should you feel convicted by that 44-point performance, feel like you really believe in Jaw, you want to get in, just have some patience, wait a little bit, and then you'll get a better opportunity at a little bit lower price, almost certainly. I would definitely be thinking that. So I've kind of gone through what I would be buying, selling, and holding, but I would like to go over just some quick issues facing you as a Ja Morant card owner and when you're selling. Now, take me for example. I love Ja Morant. These are really my only 4 cards that I have of Ja. So basically, every time that his prices bump a little bit, if I sell one, or if I sell 1 or 2, I'm going to run out of cards to sell for future price bumps. As a seller, you don't have infinite inventory. You only have so much of your Ja Morant cards on hand. You only have the chance to sell on so many price bumps. And that's what makes it hard knowing when to sell. Because if you take a profit at every little increase, you won't have any more cards to sell as the price moves up. You won't have the chance to capitalize on some of those future profits that are further out. And that's what makes it tough. That's why I'm not, I seriously thought about selling one of my select cards on this price bump, but I'm probably going to hold off just because I only have 2, and because I'm probably going to want to keep one for the PC, and if I sold one, I wouldn't be able to capitalize really on any future increases throughout this season. I do think they'll happen, so it would be foolish for me to sell considering how little inventory I have. That said, if I had 10 of these cards, I would 100% have sold one to capitalize on this little price bump because I would have more inventory. I would still have 9 left to sit on. You have to look at the profit on the table too. That definitely matters, where your card portfolio stands and how much you believe in Ja in the long run. All of those kind of are additional layers that factor into the issues facing you as a seller of Ja Morant cards. And you just got to stay disciplined. Think about what you bought the card for. Think about where your current position stands, what you believe in the long run. And that's really should keep you true to a good investing strategy. Anyways, I just want to get this video dropped, considering the big performances that Ja just rattled off. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.